The talk has stirred debate for decades. Some say it's only a myth. Others say you'd better be ready. But what do the experts say? Well, a new study shows California is not only ripe for a nasty shaker, but it will be more powerful and last much longer than anybody in this generation has ever experienced. The great San Francisco quake of 1906, 45 seconds of violent shaking. Loma Prieto in 1989, just 15 seconds. Northridge in 1994, also just 14 seconds long. All these quakes, considered some of the strongest and individually caused significant amounts of damage, lasted under 1 minute. What would happen if the largest fault line in the United States, in our own backyard, the San Andreas Fault, ruptured at a length of 2 or 3 minutes?
San Andreas Fault is the mother of all faults in the Western Hemisphere. It's almost 900 miles long. It's where two major tectonic plates meet.
A new study out of the University of California at San Diego says the San Andreas Fault is capable of producing prolonged periods of strong shaking in Southern California. A 7.7 magnitude between San Bernardino and Imperial counties. That's right here in the Coachella Valley. Here it is, the largest fault line in the Western Hemisphere, the San Andreas Fault. It stretches about 900 miles from Mexico all the way to Northern California, and it digs deep into the Earth's crust, about 40 miles in some places. The last time a mega quake hit in this region was in the 1600s, and experts say now this region is due for another big one. When another big one hits, this new study says Southern California could potentially experience several minutes of roller coaster motion.
The best way to live with them is to understand them. We are afraid of what we don't understand. We're afraid of what we don't control.
So according to Lucy Jones of the U.S. Geological Survey, the best way to understand is to do research. Earlier this year, the U.S. Geological Survey received a $2 million federal grant to monitor the southern San Andreas Fault, which has been building up stress that could lead to the big shaker. The southern San Andreas last snapped in 1690, unleashing a strong quake that caused relatively little damage because few people lived in the area. But as Los Angeles and neighboring cities have become populated and built up over the decades, the result will be strong, possibly destructive vibration.
Now, we do have a problem in the desert because the mountains are big and they're bulky and a lot of granite and serious rock. They absorb a lot of energy when the earthquake comes through. The earthquake wave hits the desert floor and it accelerates because we're sedimentary soil down here, so it moves faster. And it causes a phenomenon called liquefaction, and things have a tendency to sink.
Consider the damage caused by the Northridge quake, a 6.9, $44 billion in damage, 25,000 homes uninhabitable, 9 hospitals closed, 9 parking garages collapsed. That was with a 6.9. Seismologists expect about at least a 7.7 in the next few decades, and it can happen at any moment. And that's another reason the governor has been pushing for federal support to strengthen California's levee system. Engineers with the Bloom Earthquake Engineering Center say just a 6.5 quake could severely damage the San Francisco Bay Delta levee system and cut off water to millions of Californians.